You guys just let me know. You guys want to, you just want me to do it by myself and then you guys
Yeah,
are going to
sure.
come in. Okay, great. I'll just get a little bit like this. Perfect. All right, guys, I guess we're going to start this webinar. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Hopefully there's several people from your team as well. So I'm going to go over a little bit. I'm Miranda Coggins. For those of you guys who do not know me, I'm one half owner of Mirabella. My husband is the other half. So we're family owned and operated. We just are so excited to do this for you guys. So there is a couple things I wanted to go over. And one, now more than ever, your customers are looking to you for makeup. There's not many people going to the mall. And so we're going to give you a lot of tips and tricks today. The girls are, as well as I am. But the biggest thing is just to talk about Mirabella. You've invested in Mirabella. It's been a little while. Maybe you don't come to our events, which I'll talk to you about in a little while. So utilize the resources that we have. I mean, we've got people that do well over between $20,000 and $40,000 a year in just retail makeup. So some of these tips and tricks that we give you can transfer far behind just Mirabella and into some of your other retail sales. So we're here to be successful. One of our things for 2023 is to really put a focus on how to help you grow. You'll probably have some of your team members reaching out over the next couple of months saying that you have been a targeted salon and we really want to focus and make you a VIP. So with that, I'm going to mention our Facebook group. Most of you, I'm sure, are probably on our Mirabella Retailers Facebook group. But if you are not, please join and take the time to watch our Facebook Lives. I did one about a month ago, right at Christmas time, and gave you guys some good Christmas information that our new motto moving forward is True to You Beauty. And with that, we've not raised our prices in over 5 years, and we've committed to 2023 keeping all of our pricing the same. So when everybody else is really inflating their prices, we're taking the time and the dedication to you to say that we're not. Now, with that, we've not been out of any inventory at all through COVID, which we were the only ones not out of inventory. We have a very few limited items that are out because something newer, better, bigger, badder is coming. So please be patient with us, but you'll be starting to see some of new stuff in the spring. And I cannot wait to show you guys, but I'm going to keep it a little bit of a secret for right now. So we do have a couple of things we launched last year, but we're really putting a focus on our affiliate program. So our affiliate program, for those of you who do not have a display and you're just a stylist and you want to sell Mirabella, we do up to a 30% commission. We do the same thing for salon owners with a display. And so I know several of you have done an amazing job and actually put your affiliate link on your website. But over this last year, I did some research on how salons survived through COVID, especially for the ones that were shut down longer than others. And it was retailing inventory. So we even shipped for you guys a little bit during COVID. Well, we just decided to do the same where you can actually even create your own affiliate link. So depending on if you're a stylist or if you're a salon owner and want to make up to 30%, please take the time to watch our affiliate links as well. And those again are going to be the 30th for stylists and web for owners on the 6th. I also wanted to let you guys know that we have our event dates planned, and the new theme this year is going to be Divine Being. So I hope you guys have a lot of fun with that. I can't wait to see the costumes. That is in Kansas City, October 1st and 2nd. There are limited queen beds and a limited adjoining rooms. So if you need queen beds to share with other stylists, please reach out to your rep. We do have the event tickets, and being true to you, we did not raise our prices on that and actually negotiated a lower price with the hotel this year. Also, I wanted to touch base, and the girls are going to talk about QR codes and the virtual try on makeup and match my makeup, but Sam has done an amazing job creating a 6-month promo calendar for you guys. It's all on GoBella, which the girls are going to talk about a little bit later. But knowing if you guys did not have access, for everybody that is on the webinar, we're actually going to send that out in an email to you guys. And we've done all of the hard work. We have made all the beautiful images. All you have to do is print them off, and you can utilize those for your 6-month promo calendar. We really do want you guys to try to utilize our sales. We've been doing some sales. We do 2-month sales. And I know a lot of you guys do a great job with that. So we do recommend that you use our sales, you make more money, and we give you all of the marketing to do so. So it makes your job easier. So we will email those out to you. So please make sure to watch that. And I also wanted to mention that obviously the girls are going to do PK, but we do have a very extended version on YouTube and on Gobella, which is a 2-hour PK video of both Sarah Kelly and I at our event a couple of years ago that is 2 hours. So if you need something more or you need to grab something, please feel free to watch that as well. New employees, that kind of things. And the last thing I wanted to mention, and I mentioned this in my Facebook Live, but I cannot tell you how much like promoting your salespeople works. So one of our top salons, and I love that she shares all of her information with everybody, did a contest, and it was a 2-month contest. She is a 5-chair salon in Mason City, Iowa, so a very small town. And during the 2-week promotional time, buy one Mirabella product at 15% off. And she did do this to move through some inventory. If they bought 2 or more, they got 30% off. And then it generated $2,400 in 2 weeks in Mirabella sales. So she was able to move through inventory and her people were excited. So you can do this however you want. This is also on Gobella, and your account managers can share this as well. She also during that time sold $4,200 in total retail. So she did this by having 1 heart for a Mirabella minute, 1 heart for a $20 sale, and 10 hearts for a $100 sale. So we've created this. We've even created the fun little chart that can have your stylist's name on it in the back room. And so now that you guys are all getting updated on PK, I think it's a great way to implement this contest and help your ROI move through inventory, get excited about some new stuff coming. So if you need any help with that, please do not hesitate to reach out to your rep. So thank you guys again for joining. We're so excited to have everybody. And now I'm going to turn it over to my amazing sales education staff. So introducing Miss Lynn and Seren, and Randy is going to be our model today. So thank you guys for your business. We appreciate you so much. Out here. Come on over.
Climb on, we have to get close. Very friendly. We're family. Hi, I'm Seren. I am a brand partner to a lot of you, as well as part of the education team. And
hi, I'm Lynn. I'm national sales manager, obviously brand partner to you guys as well. So we're really excited to see you guys. And this is Randy.
Hello. So we're going to do some PK as well as application, and Miss Randy will be popping in and leaning in so you can see the details on that. However, before we get started on the PK, I wanted to touch a little bit on, wanted to touch a little bit on some of the QR codes that Miranda was talking about. So we have this one that's already made that is on Gobella that you guys can use, and this QR code will go directly to our try-on tool on our website. However, if you are an affiliate, we have the ability, or you actually have the ability, to create your own QR codes. And this is great for using with this consultation card. I just printed it out. I created my own QR code that would use my affiliate link and go to the try-on tool utilizing my affiliate link. That way you're still capturing that sale for your digital clients. And that way you can just hand this to your client. I laminated it, and they can check out all of the different things that you guys can talk about during a consultation, whether they need help with smoky eye, skincare, that kind of stuff, as well as looking at all of the try-on stuff on your affiliate link. And then we'll talk about this one a little bit more on the other side. I did the affiliate link QR code directly to my my affiliate link, and this is going to be the chart of the different foundations along with a little bit of blurb, so you can see easily which foundation does what. And let's see,
I wanted to mention I believe Fidel is on this call, but she's doing an amazing job with our affiliate program, and she simply has her QR code And when her client sits down, she asks what their concern is and then hands them that and they scan it and they start shopping. And she's been doing an amazing job with that. So really take advantage of it, you guys. And then also getting down to what your client's main concerns are. Maybe, they need a new foundation or a new concealer. So using that card that Soren showed you to kind of narrow down what they really are interested in.
Right. Yeah, and another thing is for online, we actually launched a salon locator a few months ago. So everyone who has a display was uploaded automatically. If you want to go to mirabellabeauty.com and just scroll down a little bit, it'll have the little zip code locator. So you can type in your zip code, make sure everything looks good. And if you're a salon that doesn't have a display, but you do a lot of Mirabella applications, you have products in stock, you can contact us to have your salon actually added to that as well. Okay, so do you have anything else? We'll get started on PK. I think we're good. All right, so we're going to get started with the skincare. So we're not going to demo every single thing, but we do have the Wipeout, which is going to be your standard 30 pack of towelettes. However, these have a micellar water technology, so you don't have to use any harsh surfactants to break down the surface tension and remove those cosmetics. It's just going to use the little micelles that suck up all the dirt, oils, impurities, and cosmetics and carry them away gently. And we have the cleanser. So this is our nice, gentle, very bright cleanser here. It's a little shiny. So this one isn't an airless pump, so it's really great for travel, especially traveling stylists who might go through different altitude changes, flights, that kind of thing. It's not going to pop open in your bag. We also have a pH balance for most of our skincare of about 5.5, which is what the skin pH is. It's a very gentle formula, so I definitely recommend doing a double cleanse. And this has a nice little pump out on the top, so you don't actually have to open the whole bottle to the elements. So it stays very sanitary. So doing a double cleanse is going to first take off all of the cosmetics, and then you rinse that off. You do need to use a little bit of water to emulsify the product. And then the second cleanse is going to get any other traces off. Do you have any tips and techniques for selling skincare?
One thing I always like to say about our skincare is the fact that it is so affordable. We have 6 pieces now total. And it's just, there are some people that just don't wear skincare. My mother was one of them for 60 some years, and they just don't want to, invest in that. And this is a whole system for these clients that is very affordable, works amazing, and it's not going to, cost them $80 sometimes for just a moisturizer. So keep that in mind. We know a lot of you have clinical brands currently, but this is something that's going to be great for anybody starting out, or even somebody that just really is getting into it at a later age.
Right. Our 5-piece skincare, not including the Prime for Lips or the AMP, just your basic cleanser, toner, serum, and moisturizers, is going to cost less than $150 retail. So it's very affordable. We've also got the Balance alcohol-free toner. So this one is going to be an alcohol-free witch hazel formula. This one has about the same kind of pH. So it's very balanced. It's very healthy for the skin. And with a toner, we're going to be used to seeing our more acne clients, oily clients using a toner. Hopefully not an astringent, those are 2 different things. But with this toner, it is really beneficial for those with dry skin as well, because it does help to balance the pH. You're not going to be sure entirely if your client might have an unbalanced pH, which could be contributing to their dryness. So just doing that simple thing of using a little bit of a toner is going to help to bring it back to normal, and that will really help to alleviate any conditions that might be caused by an imbalanced pH. It also has a little pump top on there. So again, you don't have to open it up to the air for potential contamination. You would just take your little cotton pad and pump it on there, and it'll draw the product up to your cotton.
This is also a great product for the gentleman in your life. So instead of using an aftershave, which typically has a lot of alcohol in it, they can use this and it is going to balance out their skin. Actually, my husband uses it as aftershave.
Nice.
Yeah.
So then next up, we have our serum. This one just launched a little over a year ago. So this guy is one of my favorite products. It is significantly underpriced in my opinion. It's got your nice little dropper in the dark glass bottle to help protect the integrity of the product. This one has 0.5% of retinol, which is a high enough percentage to be effective over a long timeline, but not so high as to sensitize the skin. So it should still be suitable for your clients that have more sensitive skin who might need a little bit more of a gentle product. This one should still work really well for them. It's going to be based in hyaluronic acid. We've got vitamin C. There's also niacinamide to help rebalance and rebuild your natural skin moisture barrier.
It's great to put on after foundation too, if you're just kind of feeling a little dry or maybe a little too much powder, putting it on a precision sponge and kind of working it into the skin. It's going to make you look really hydrated and fresh.
Next up, we have our Renew Daily Moisturizer, which that is still really, really bright. Okay, you get the idea. So this is our Renew Moisturizer. Again, it has an airless pump bottle. So it's going to pull the interior bottom up as you go through it. So make sure that it is screwed on tightly. It's not going to have a little stick that goes in or a little straw that goes into the interior. It's just going to work through suction. So it does take a little bit of time, a few pumps to actually get that primed to start coming out. So this one does soak in really fast. So this is fabulous for your dry skin clients and even your oily skin clients who might not be used to using a moisturizer because they think it feels oily or they just don't like it. So this is going to soak in really fast. So you're not going to get any kind of a film feeling when you put it on. We've got peptides, aloe, antioxidants. There's a little bit of tone correction, licorice root, and niacinamide. So this little guy does it all. This is definitely one of my favorite products. Okay, we have a new moisturizer as well. So this is our overnight moisturizer. This is the Intense Day to Night 24/7 moisturizer. So this one's more of a pot, but it does have a nice little scoop that comes with it. So you don't have to stick your hands in it. And a secondary lid here that really holds in the moisture so it doesn't evaporate. This guy has peptides, antioxidants. It has hyaluronic acid as well as reishi mushroom that helps with the anti-inflammatory, anti-aging, and tranexamic acid. Tranexamic acid.
Say that 3 times fast.
It helps to balance your complexion. It is not a bleach. We've got no hydroquinone in this. It's just going to help to balance overactive melanin production. So it'll help to really balance your complexion.
I get asked a lot of questions about the 2 different moisturizers. And if you're very dry, I definitely recommend using the 24/7 day and night. If you tend to be a bit more oily, using the 24/7 at night, and then using the Renew during the day because it's not quite as emollient.
Absolutely. And you can use those if you want to use the overnight treatment morning and evening, that's totally fine. It's not going to hurt you at all. And same thing with the daily moisturizing lotion, a little bit of a thinner formula. So whatever works best for you, one or the other or both. I use both, one in the morning, one at night. So whatever works for your skin type. Next up is our sugar scrub. So this is the Prime for Lip Sugar Scrub. It's in the little lipstick component, but it has a clear frosted top. So you can tell that it's not a color. It's just going to be the sugar scrub. So this one is based in natural oils as well as sugar. So you would apply this at the beginning of an application. If you're using it in salon, you would just scrape off some of it, apply it to the lip. At home. Obviously, if it's just yours, you can use it straight from the tube. Let it sit for a couple of minutes so those oils have time to soak in. And then later on in the application, just rub your lips together or use a clean fingertip to buff it in. And that'll have those sugar crystals exfoliate the lip, especially beneficial for the night before you're planning on using a long wear product. So your lips are plump and hydrated and exfoliated and ready for an application of a long wear the next day.
And if you're doing a skin service on your client, this is definitely something that you can put on in the beginning of that treatment as well. And then by the end, obviously their lips are going to be hydrated and plumped up. And also using it, like Soren said, as a night treatment. It's an excellent night treatment as well.
brand new AMP. We've got the AMP 2.0 Lash and Brow Serum. So this has an improved formula. We kept it the same price. So it has additional peptides in it versus the last one. So this is our new and improved formula. You would use this like you would a liquid liner. So we have the little brush tip that comes in there, and my hand is so white. There we go. So you would use this as a liquid liner just right on the skin next to your lash, and then in your brow area, work it backwards against the hair growth so it touches your skin, because that peptide and hydrating formula is going to soak right into your lash and brow root to help give you the ingredients and building blocks to grow longer, thicker, and healthier lashes and brows. This also will not change the color of your iris or your eyelid the way some of the other prescription strength eyelash serums are. This does not have any of those ingredients that will darken the pigment.
One little selling tip, I know I've been asked, what's the difference between your lash brow serum and Babe Lash, which is obviously one that's kind of big on the market. Ours is actually about a 5-month supply, where theirs is about 3. There's typically, the last I checked, retails for about 65, and our AMP still retails for 50. So you're getting more product, and it's a more desirable cost as well.
All right, then a couple of our tools. So we have our ice roller. I personally love this thing. I use it all of the time. It works as intended for a face roller to help cool. It helps reduce inflammation and redness. It also works great for headaches. It works great for neck pain. It's a large enough roller that you can use it in different areas. And it comes with 2 roller heads. So these just snap in and snap out, so you can double the roll time, or you can have one sanitizing while you're using the next one on the next client. So it does have a stainless steel roller head, very easy to sanitize, and just a regular little plastic handle here. So very great multi-use item. Next, I don't have one to demo, but we are upgrading our LED light mask. So the next batch that comes in is going to have infrared. So that one is going to up the price a little bit, but not ridiculous. We're going to do around $100 wholesale, which will translate to $200 retail. Brushes.
Oh, you got a set?
I grabbed a set. So hers, yeah, so she's got a set there. Hers is folded down. This is what it looks like when it is all zipped up. So it can fold flat, almost flat, if you don't have very much in it. It also will expand out. It's got this little portion in here that expands out, so you can add additional brushes.
See how much mine
holds. It's got tons.
I'm prepared.
So this one is our brand new Make It Pretty Pro brush set. These were all brand new brushes that were designed. And it also comes with this Flawless Skin Foundation brush. So it is a little bit of a smaller brush for foundation, but it has that little spiral on there. If you can see that. And that spiral is going to have different lengths of bristles that protrude out. This is going to help when you stipple in your foundation to really press the foundation into the contours and texture of your skin. Texture is normal, it's okay. You just want to make sure that you have an even coverage. So this is really going to help press it in. It is a smaller brush head though, because we didn't want it to splay out too much on the edges. So it keeps that nice tight application. And it's also great for detailed areas around the eyes, around the nose, and all of that. And on the new brushes, that's one of the only ones from this set, or that is the only one from this set that comes individually. All of the other guys are only available in this set, but we did launch a brand new Kabuki brush, which is retractable. I love the retractable Kabuki. Very, very soft, easy to take with you. Kabuki is our best seller, so we just improved it. It's also multi-use by itself. So obviously with the collar all the way down, you've got the nice fluffy bristles for powders. You can push it up a little bit and just hold the collar so it compacts your bristles a little bit more. Great for blushes, bronzers, and then all the way up, really, really compacts it in there, and you can actually use that for cream products as well.
And all of our brushes still have our aluminum handles and they are still weighted. They can be sanitized with Barbicide. But you guys, if your client's investing in makeup, they also need the tools that are going to apply that makeup professionally. So making sure to recommend the correct brushes, whether it be a brush set. I feel as though foundation brushes and definitely eyeshadow brushes and an angle brush are typically my go-to, but these are going to last them as well. So these are tools. So it's not like, you know, this is something that they're going to need to put on their application and have it be flawless.
Yeah, and if they invest in a $50 foundation and they're trying to put it on with their fingertips, it's not going to apply the way it's intended. They need the right application. So even just a couple of key tools is going to really make the difference in how satisfied they are with the product. And then on the tools, the last thing I was going to talk about here is this one is used and I cut it in half. Yes. So you can see if I show you really, really closely how very little of a line we have of product that's soaked in. Lynn, how many times did you use this?
Oh gosh, I don't think I watched one. Sorry. But
So
I was a child.
it was intentional.
Yeah, it was intentional.
So she used it several times without washing it to see how much the foundation would soak in versus a competitor where you can see it soaked in a whole lot more. So that's lost product. It's also going deeper in and potentially holding on to additional bacteria, the deeper in that absorbs. So best practices would be to soak this in water before you use it so you can see how much that grows when it's damp. It's very bouncy. You would use it damp to stipple in your foundation and then wash it after every use to make sure that you are keeping it as clean as possible. Another couple of options you can do with this is you can use this with powders. You would just roll it in or dab it in. You can use the sponge for bulletproof to really press in the bulletproof, and you can also use it for skincare. One of my clients uses this to get her kids to wear sunscreen because it's more fun to apply. It's easier to get an even application. So I love our sponge. There's a lot of different ways you can use it. Right. One last thing for brushes is our Purify. So you definitely want to be retailing Purify when you're retailing brushes. If they're a little on the fence about it, get those teeny tiny little mini atomizers from Amazon. So you can put a few drops in there, you know, or maybe like up to 5 milliliters and send it with them with their brush purchase. So they are keeping their brushes clean. This is going to have aloe and alcohol in it. So the aloe is going to help condition the bristles of both synthetic, which all of our brushes are synthetic, but if they do have animal hair brushes at home, this will also help to condition those so they don't dry out. And with that alcohol in it, it will dry really fast. So it's perfect for quick change. You can use this to use the same brush on the same model with a new color. You would just spray a paper towel with Purify, run your brush back and forth over it, and it's going to transfer all of the product onto the paper towel or terry cloth towel and dry down really fast from that alcohol so you can use it in a new color.
And if you are selling a brush, please sell a brush cleaner. I mean, they do need to be cleaned every day. And then of course at night, shampooed with a gentle soap and then squeeze all the water out. And then you're going to want to lay them flat to dry. So that way you don't have any kind of the bristles coming up. And that brush cleaner is also going to condition their bristles as well. So, you know, brush cleaner, they go hand in hand.
Absolutely. And for those clients that struggle with acne, it's so difficult to treat. So you want to make sure that you're minimizing any kind of carryover from one day to the next. So if you have clients with acne and they use brushes rather than disposable sponges, make sure that they are using that Purify every day after they put their foundation on. Use that Purify on a paper towel, terry cloth towel, to transfer and remove a lot of the cosmetics, oil, and bacteria. So there's less of it hanging out on their brush, so they don't put it right back on the next day. Okay, primers. Are you doing any kind of primers?
I am going to do primer. Do we want to do her shade match first? And then I'm going to do primer.
Okay. Absolutely.
So I was just going to go through and demo a quick little shade match for you guys. So of course we have our swatch book, which is amazing. It has, it's a flip book, so it has literally color swatches of every single product we have available. And there's also some little blurbs about tips and tricks and about the product on the back as well. So you can use this to do a foundation match. I definitely always recommend doing another one on the jawline. But for Randy, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to use the swatch book. Let me get to where we need to be. And when you use the swatch book for a foundation match, you're going to hold it away from the skin. Can you turn a little bit for me? So you're going to want to hold it a few inches away from the skin. So that gives me a pretty good idea of what, lean forward a little bit. We're getting cues. It gives me a pretty good idea of what I'm going to have to pull for Randy. I actually like to pull 2 to 3 shades. I've actually pulled 3, and we are going to use Invincible. But this is really fun for your clients to play around with too. I mean, I don't know how many times I've had somebody say like, oh, I can't wear red lips. Well, yeah, I think everybody should wear red lips, honestly, but they can literally try it on and see what they look like with red lips on, not just my hair today. But even there's foundations, there's blushes, there's brows. So make sure you're utilizing these. We do have these marked down. If you don't have one, definitely let us know, or 2 or 3. Because we can get you one of these. These are a really great tool.
And it does come with a sample of the brush on there as well, so your clients can feel how soft and dense the brushes are.
So I'm just gonna, these are our products. So of course we want you to make sure that you're adhering to your state board sanitation, but because these are ours, I'm just gonna kind of put this on my hand. If you don't, I would recommend using a palette or a plate, or you could probably recommend something.
Oh, sure. My favorite would be a stainless steel palette. That way they're easy to sanitize and you know they're not going to have any nicks or cuts in them.
So Randy already has skincare on. I'm just going to have her turn a little bit. And I am literally just going to stripe her. I'm going to blend it out a little bit down by the jawline. And one little tip is I actually don't tell my clients what color I'm using on them. I like them to decide for themselves. So, you know, in my mind, if somebody said to me, oh, you're a light foundation, I'd be like, no, I'm not, I'm never light. So I like to just place it on their skin, and then I give them a mirror and I let them tell me which one they prefer. So which one do you prefer? And you're also, by doing this, getting your clients buy-in, because they're gonna have to wear it every day. And one other thing I want you guys to keep in mind is you are the professionals. You have these clients coming to you to change their hair color, to wax their brows, to do all these services that you're experts at. So you are the expert when it comes to recommending their makeup as well. So keep that in mind.
Well, on the screen, it looks like the middle one, but in reality, I would typically go with this one with probably a hint, a little baby mix of the
And that's a
two.
great note about
But-
mixing foundations. I mix my foundations. I'll mix like 2 or even 3 different ones, depending on the undertone, to make sure that I get the right match for that day, depending on, you know, the season, if I have a tan, which very rarely happens, or if I'm later in the winter, which is difficult to do. So that way, you know, if your client is between shades, you can talk about, yes, it's a larger investment up front, but it's obviously going to last them twice as long. And they don't have to switch from a summer color to a winter color. So they've got 2 different colors overnight. They can do a slower transition from one to the next. All right, and then primers. So we do have 2 different primers. I'm going to talk about the Awaken first, because this one can be layered underneath of the Prime for Face. So this one, we do recommend shaking it up a little bit. So it is a thinner serum style formula. So it soaks into the skin. It doesn't sit on top. It soaks in. It has a little bit of a Brazilian arrowroot extract in it, which means that it helps to firm a little bit as it dries down. It's not going to be you know, a massive change, but it is going to help firm up a little bit, and it does help hydrate as well. So that one can be layered underneath of the Prime for Face, which is still really bright, I apologize. So the Prime for Face is a silicone primer that is going to sit on top of the skin. Silicone is safe to use for acne clients. The molecules are too large to clog the pores. So you can definitely use that for acne prone clients. It's going to help to fill in fine lines and enlarge pores. It's like gesso on a canvas. You're just going to fill in a little bit of that texture so your foundation sits more smoothly. You can definitely use our foundations without a primer, but they're going to lay a whole lot better and wear longer if you do use a primer. So if you wanted to use the Prime for Face along with the Awaken, I would recommend just tapping on a little bit of the Awaken in key areas, such as under the eyes, around the mouth, or maybe in some areas you need some extra hydration, and then use a small amount of the Prime for Face over the areas in the T-zone or where you need some extra fill in for fine lines and enlarged pores.
I actually like to mix the Awaken with my foundation in summer as well to get a little bit of a layered coverage, but it also gives you that really beautiful glow too.
And a little goes a long way. With all of our products, absolutely use the minimum and then build from there. If you use too much of some of our products, it'll start to roll up a little bit. So just a little goes a long way. Next up, we're going to talk about the Perfect and Correct, actually. So this is sort of a misunderstood product. This has your different colors in your color wheel for, there we go, for color correction. And you can use it a couple of different ways. So she's putting it just very lightly right on top of the primer while the primer is still damp. That way it's going to soak in and combine with the primer so you can use that as part of the base. A couple different ways that you can use that would be, since they do have individual colors, you can use a smaller brush for targeted color correction, just opposite on the color wheel. And then the last way to use that would be at the end of your service. You can swirl all of the colors together as a setting powder, just right on top of the foundation. This is really beneficial for if you have a client that they've got a big event coming up, maybe they were on vacation and they got a sunburn, and you're not wanting to do layers and layers and layers of foundation and concealer. Use this all swirled together and those blue-green tones will start to come forward. So it does help to neutralize a lot of redness on its own.
So I have Bombshell on my hand and I just use a little bit of the green to color correct that on my hand. So it works really, really well, you guys, but just a little bit goes a long way.
All right, good for.
Good, let's get to foundation now.
So we're going to talk about a couple of different foundations. While she's doing that full application with the Invincible, I'm going to talk about all of our foundations. So first up is our CC Defense. This one comes in just 4 different shades, but they're going to be the middle shades. So our most popular shades are kind of right down the middle. This one is going to have an equivalent of an SPF 20 due to the titanium dioxide and zinc oxide content. These are also in the airless pump bottles. You can see the little air release holes down here. So it does take quite a lot of pumps to prime it and start it coming out. So make sure that the collar here is on tightly. It doesn't have a tube that goes in. So if you're pumping it and you're having trouble with it just not coming out, just poke a little something in there and it'll release the bottom of it, but that's very, very rare. We're gonna have an extended recording as well. So we might go over the hour time slot, but it is being recorded. That way, if anybody needs to, hop out and come back, we're gonna have everything recorded.
So Brandy can lean a little forward. You can see the difference between where I've applied and where I haven't full bright. But just keep in mind with Invincible, a little bit goes a very long way. And the best way to show this is literally on the back of your client's hand. So again, I'm just gonna use that red again, very, very little bit. And you can see that that covered and concealed it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and buff this in on the other side. Obviously, it does have skincare benefits after continued use, and it photographs absolutely beautifully.
And just to touch back on the CC cream, it does have a matte finish. So all 3 of our liquid foundation lines have a different finish, and that's where I was going to bring up this great little chart. So it'll tell you what the finish is, if it has SPF. It gives you a little bit of a blurb underneath here. So this is a great one to have ready as well as a laminated thing, so you can talk to your clients about it. Then we have our skin tint cream. So skin tint is going to come in different undertones. We've got some cool, some warm, and some neutral undertones of this. It's going to be a little bit of a thinner product. So this one is our medium coverage. The other two are full coverage. This one is very high in anti-inflammatories, so it's really beneficial for those with red skin, for those who might have rosacea, or if they're easily irritated and have a reaction. This one is going to be really well suited for them.
I also like to tell my clients, if you have somebody that's used to using a tinted moisturizer, skin tint's going to be a great product for them because it is more of that lighter coverage and that gel formula.
And along with the skin tint, that one's going to be a little bit more of a satin finish, so it's more of a natural finish. We also have the skin tint formula Shade Perfector. So this is a very deep shade in the skin tint line. So it can be used on its own as a foundation, or you can mix it in with an existing foundation. I'm just going to do a little touch on my hand here as an example. So it's a nice deep shade, and you can mix it in. I'm just going to use a little bit of Invincible here. So if they're going from their winter shades to a summer shade and they just need a little touch, then you can just mix in a tiny, tiny little bit and it will create a deeper shade of anything that we have in our current lineup. Right. Oh, thank you so much. All right, so we did the skin tint with the satin finish. And then what Miss Lynn has been using is the Invincible. That one is going to be your demi matte finish, also full coverage. It has Matrixyl 3000 in it, which is a polypeptide. So it does absolutely extend your skincare routine right into your cosmetics. It's perfect for bridal. It's got HD coated particles in it. So when you do flash photography, when the light hits, it scatters back instead of being directly reflected back. So it gives you a real life blur filter. It's also perfect for acne clients. And you can definitely thin it out if you need something more of like a BB cream. You can use the Invincible with a little bit of a moisturizer, or you like to use a Awaken.
Yep.
All right. Then onto the concealer. Just putting these away. So the concealers are going to be a creamy stick formula, so very highly pigmented. A little goes a long way. This is great for contouring. You can use the lighter colors in the under eye area. You can use deeper colors to contour around the edges and under the cheek. So this one blends out really, really beautifully. You can use this directly on top of your foundation before you set it, or as a midday touch-up. The stick formula concealers are great for midday touch-ups. They're not going to disrupt the rest of your cosmetics. They're just going to lay right on top.
I like to place the concealer first, if you can kind of lean in, and let it warm up, and then I'm going to stipple it out. The other great use for this product, you guys, is if you're doing a brow wax or any kind of brow treatment. It's going to help with redness. It's going to help depuff. And quite honestly, if you send your client out into the world and haven't touched up her brows and they're very red and maybe she has to go back to work, you're really doing her a disservice. So making sure that you touch them up with concealer and then follow with a pencil so they can see exactly what your artistry has been and can recreate it. So I'm just using it in Randy's under eye area at the time right now. So you can see I'm just kind of pressing it into the skin. You don't want to put it on and then slide your brush. You want to place it where you want to conceal, whether that be a blemish or any kind of spot, a dark spot, maybe hyperpigmentation on the skin, and then press it into place so that you get the full effect. The other great thing about our concealer is it doesn't crease either.
So that being said, we do have a lot of suggestions on our website, go-bella.com, which is going to be marketing and education for what we call Mirabella Minutes and Mirabella Moments. So we're going through the full product knowledge, but if you're new, it can be a little overwhelming. So when you're trying to introduce these products to your clients, check out our Mirabella Minutes, where it's going to suggest using 3 to 5 products so you can focus have everything cohesive, and you can quickly do, you know, a brow touch-up where maybe you're doing a brow wax. You incorporate it directly into the service using a brow pencil to fill in afterwards, a little bit of the concealer to reduce redness, and a spritz of bulletproof. And you're using maybe 3 minutes more time for the service, but you're introducing them to the products. They're potentially going to buy something, and you're completing the service to really knock it out of the park and be better than your competitors.
And the easiest way to bring that up is to say to them, oh, let's take a selfie.
Right?
Everybody loves taking a selfie. Hold on, we gotta touch you up. We gotta put some Pure Press on you, maybe a little blush and a lip gloss, and then take their picture. So you're introducing that. The easiest way to introduce the conversation about Mirabella is to swatch the back of your hand, which I have here now, I've color corrected it, but with the matte gloss, and this is the velvet pencil, and just show them that they don't move. And that's gonna open up that door. And they may not be even looking for a lip gloss, but they're gonna open up the door and see what else you have to offer. Again, you're the expert, so they're gonna see what your expert opinion is.
All right, next is our final foundation, which is Pure Press. So this one is a standalone powder foundation or a setting powder. So you can use this on top of primed and prepped skin as a buildable medium to full coverage powder foundation. It does come with a little sponge on the inside of the compact here. You just want to make sure that on your tester units, you take that sponge out so you don't have people using it and putting it back in the compact. Since sponges can't be sanitized, we want to make sure that those are gone. However, for personal use, then just tell your clients to keep the sponge on the bottom so the oil that's picked up from their face doesn't sit on top of the powder and disrupt the way it applies. So this can be used as your setting powder with a fluffy brush, or a little bit more densely with that included
That
sponge.
new kabuki brush.
Absolutely. That's one of our Mirabella minutes, is just a quick touch up with some Pure Press and a kabuki brush, a spritz of bulletproof, and done.
Good to go.
Let's see, the Pure Press also has a dry form of jojoba in it, so it doesn't give a powdery cast. It just looks very natural.
When we put it on radio, I don't know if you guys can see. So she's got the color correcting powder, foundation, and also Pure Press, and she looks fabulous. I can't even feel it. Yeah, it feels great.
It's a very light product. Again, little goes a long
Little
way.
goes a long
You don't
way.
have to use very much, and that'll give you a really natural finish.
It's easier to add than it is to take away.
A couple more powders here. We have our perfecting powder. So this one is going to be your loose translucent setting powder. It does come with a little puff that can be used for personal use. Toss it if it's on your display. And the lid also has a little mirror on the inside of it too. And the lid screws on, so you can take it with you in your bag and do midday touch-ups without worrying about it just popping open in your bag. This one does have peptides, vitamin A, mica silica for oil absorbing, and this is also perfect for pairing with all of our foundations, but especially with the Invincible, since this one also doesn't give a flashback either.
If you guys haven't played with this powder yet, or even to show your clients, just simply put it in between their fingers and have them feel how silky it is. My first experience was I used it on half of my face and I couldn't get over just the difference it made. It's an amazing product.
And it is translucent, so you can use it with any of the foundations. But again, little goes a long way. If you pile it up too much and you create too thick of a layer, then it's not going to wear correctly. Our last powder here for face is our brand new Glow. So this one is a pressed translucent powder that is a hyaluronic powder, and it has a little mirror, and I'm not going to point it directly at the screen there, but you can see there's a mirror with an LED light that lights up in it, along with your separate little case for your compact. So this translucent goes with everything for everybody, and it is a matte finish as well.
And that light is really a conversation starter, you guys, just showing it. It's such a great product.
All right, on to brows. Okay. So we do have our best-selling brow pencil. Absolutely one of our top sellers is the brow pencil. This one has a little spoolie on the back end so you can brush the brows into place. And we've also got the hair stroke precision tip on the top, and that one is brand new, it's not wanting to come up. So it gives a teeny tiny little hair stroke precise application. So you would just want to do the flick on the head of the brow, the tail of the brow. If you're needing to fill in the entire brow and recreate a whole brow, it might not be the best suited, but to do an outline of where you're going or the details, this is perfect.
I personally have to recreate both of my brows, so I do outline with the brow pencil, and then I fill in with the quick brow powder, and then follow up with the brow shaper. So your client they may need more than one product, so keep that in mind. Making sure that you get them the right products, and then also instructing them on how to use it, so when they get home they can recreate that look.
And with the quick brow powder, that one comes in 2 different shades. This does have a loose powder on the inside. So for home use, it does come with this little sponge applicator on the inside. You can also just tap it out onto a palette and use an angled liner brush to apply. This does have shea butter in it, so that helps to bulk up the little tiny vellus hairs that you have already, so they look more full and natural. So it sticks to both the hair and skin. So this is really perfect for if you're doing a full fill-in, if they've got maybe a little bald spot, or you're just really wanting to bulk up that whole area and give it more dimension. The last brow product is our brow shaper. So this guy is going to be your brow mascara. It's going to add a little bit of color with that neutral medium brown. So for blonde brows, it's going to make them a little bit darker. For dark brows, it's going to add more dimension. And this is really great to use either by itself or in combination, like Lynn said. If you're using a powder or pencil, it's going to apply one color. It's going to be flat on the skin. So if you go over it with the brow shaper, it's going to pull that dimension back and highlight the hair.
I feel like it softens it a little bit, and you may have said that already. It's also really great for somebody that's super fair and super blonde, just using that alone so that their brows aren't so stark. One little tip I will give you when it comes to applying somebody's brows, especially if they're not used to it, do one and then do the other and let them see the first one, because a lot of times if they're not accustomed to filling in their brows, it just looks a little too stark. So try one, show them, they're gonna love it, and then do the other one.
Or start lighter and then go darker.
You can add, yep.
All right, moving on to eyes. So we have our waterproof eyeshadow primer. This I feel is another product that is underutilized. So this is going to be much better suited rather than using a foundation or a concealer on the lid. So if you use a foundation or concealer, that's going to add extra moisture where you don't need it. The lid is already a naturally oily place, so you don't want to add additional moisture. Also, with using a foundation or concealer that already has pigment in it, then when you're blinking all day, that pigment starts to mix with your eyeshadow and it starts to kind of fade out and disappear. Whereas this is going to be a very, very translucent but slightly neutral color. And it is specifically designed for the oily lid area. It's going to be waterproof and create a barrier between the eyelid and the product that you're applying. That's another one, a little goes a long way. If used too much, it'll start to kind of ball up and crease. So just a very, very fine, thin layer. You can also use this if you have a very oily T-zone, just tap in a little bit in that T-zone and it'll help to prevent the oil from breaking through quite as much.
I also like to recommend using it on the lips. If you have trouble with feathering and bleeding, it's just going to make that bond with the lipsticks. But if you're selling an eyeshadow palette, you guys, sell an eyeshadow primer. It's going to, like Soren said, it's just going to make a world of difference. The products are going to apply better. They're not going to crease. They're going to stay on longer. I mean, we have wonderful eyeshadows, but this is something that they can use with other products as well.
And we do have that available as the full size that I just showed you and a mini, like a mini travel size one. So that's a fabulous way to introduce your clients to a product, is have some minis on hand as a BOGO when you're selling your eyeshadows. Include that mini and then they will come back for the full size one. Something that we didn't note yet is that almost every one of our products has antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, humectants, moisturizers. So we are definitely a clean brand. We're absolutely concerned about making sure that all of these products are skin healthy. That is something near and dear to my heart since I'm an esthetician and I learned with the original Mirabella in school that we are continuing that and making it better every time. All right, eyeshadows.
Okay, we're just gonna do a little touch up, turn Randy's eyes from day to night. If you wanna talk about the eyeshadow.
For sure. So we have two different eyeshadow palettes. We have our I Love You that has 4 different color collections. They're going to have a mixture of mattes and shimmers, and then that central 360 highlighter can be used on the eye area or as a cheek highlight. So all of our powder products are multi-use. You can use them on the eye and on the face. We do have a matte brown in several of these as well, including this one right here. This is fabulous as a multi-use palette, the eyeshadow palette here with that matte brown and the black as well for use with the bulletproof and an angled liner brush to use with a foiling technique. So you would basically load your brush with the powder, spritz on a little bit of bulletproof and apply it, such as the matte brown, to the eyebrow area for your brow powder. You can use that with the darker shades to create a liquid liner. So this is really great for travel. Now, you know, a lot of us are back on the road, going to see family and all that stuff. So you can take one product for use on multiple different areas. It also has a weighted case with a full-size mirror on the lid. So you can do your whole look right there in that one case mirror.
I'm actually gonna foil for you guys. I'm gonna take my angled brush. I'm gonna load it with this deepest shade here. And then I'm gonna take my bulletproof and I'm gonna create that liquid liner. I do this with my shadows as well. I think it's a really great technique. I think you mentioned you could do it with the brow powders as well. Bulletproof is one of my favorite tools. If you haven't used it, it's amazing.
Oh yeah, it's probably my favorite product that we have because you can use it so many different ways, which we're going to talk about a little more later. We've also got our limited edition studio eyeshadow palette. So we do still have this available, but it's not going to be in our permanent lineup. It does have a different formula for those eyeshadows. So they're going to be very, very dense and richly pigmented. Let me take that plastic sheet off. So you can see the top row is going to be your mattes and the bottom is shimmers. And these are absolutely gorgeous on their own, but especially if you foil those shimmers, they are a metallic shine. All right, those are the eyeshadows. We do have our eye pencils as well. So we've got 2 eye pencils. We've got Blackmail and Champagne. Blackmail is going to be a nice jet black matte. You can use that as your eye primer for really, really deep black colors. And then stipple your eyeshadow on top, and then, whoops, that one came out. So this one is going to be the champagne color. Not sure if it'll show up very well on me. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So that one's going to be a very pretty neutral shimmer color. It's great under the brow area. You can use it as a cream highlight to tap it on the bridge of the nose, blend it in, or along the cheekbone and blend that in. It does dry down pretty quickly to a long wear though. So if you are using it in a larger area, make sure you blend it in pretty quickly.
Pretty. Catches the light really well.
All right, and our eye crayons are waterproof, so they dry down to a long wear waterproof, so you can use them in the waterline. All right, so onto the eye definers. We've got several different eye definers, but I'm going to talk about these 2 right here. So Smoke is our best seller, but we are temporarily out of stock while we're going to update some packaging. So that one is going to be your Smoke Black. And then I'm talking about the Midnight. That's what we're suggesting to substitute right now. Whoops. So when you put the Midnight on the eye area, it is almost black. So that is a Midnight navy blue. So that's what we're recommending to use instead for the time being until we get Smoke back in stock. But these guys are retractable. So you just swirl the bottom, roll it up. They do have vitamin E in it. So that gives it the really nice, smooth, creamy consistency. But make sure your caps are on tightly. They don't snap on, you just have to make sure they're on tight. If they are loose, then it can start to dry out that vitamin E, and then they're not going to apply as well.
As far as sanitation, you also want to make sure to sanitize them with the tips facing down, and that goes for all of our pencils because they are all retractable. There is a little gap in between the actual color and the component. And if you sanitize it, and leave the tip facing up, the alcohol is going to go down inside the chamber and dry out your product. So always make sure to sanitize all of our pencils with the tip facing down. And again, caps need to be on very tightly.
We've also got a tiny little sharpener that pulls out the bottom. So if you do need a really fine point on the tip of that, you're just going to twirl that on top and it'll bring it back to a really nice fine point. And that does snap in. Okay, a couple more eyeliners. We have the Magic Marker as well as the Iconic. So Magic Marker is going to be a little bit more of a thin tube here, but it has that super fine point liquid liner felt tip. This is one that cannot be sanitized, so I'm going to demo it here. And if you are using this with a client, you're going to want to make sure that you do one of two things. You either press this onto a palette, let that liquid ink drain out a little bit and use it with a liner brush, or just include this in the cost of their application. So if they're a bride and they want that really deep black look with the liquid liner, really fine point, just include the cost of this in their application and then send them home with it.
My favorite. This is my favorite product in the whole entire world.
Every day.
Every day. I wear it every day. Our Iconic Wing Stamp Liner. You guys, this is so amazing. So one side is actually a stamp. So if you have someone that is cat eye challenged, all they have to do is roll and press, and they're going to get that perfect wing. The other side is a bit of a broader tip marker, and that you can use to fill in or just recreate a wing that way. But I literally wear this every day.
Every day.
And it's
extremely
extremely waterproof.
So some people just have oily enough skin or eye area that any kind of a long wear eye pencil will still start to smudge. This will not.
Mm-hmm. Or if you have hooded eyelids like I do, and you have that transfer issue, no transfer ever. It's so good.
And with these guys, they are going to give you more of a satin slick finish than the deep matte black of our eye pencils. All right, on to mascara. We do have two different mascaras. We've got our tried and true Lash Luxe. This one is going to add length and volume. We also have peptides and vitamin B5 in here. So it is healthy and conditions the lashes. It also helps to add your length, your volume, a little bit of curl, and you can also layer this underneath of the lasting lash. With that, you would build your length and volume with the Lash Luxe, and then your top coat with the lasting lash, which has a silicone spoolie. So with that silicone spoolie, it's going to slick on that top layer of waterproof. It doesn't catch as much as the traditional spoolie, so it helps to do a top coat. That way you're not building layers and layers of waterproof formula to try and break down at the end of the day. You're just doing that top coat.
I like to use the lasting lash on my bottom lashes, my lower lash line, because it does have such a precise brush. And then I use Lash Luxe on my upper lash line. So definitely mixing them. Randy has great lashes. So we're doing lasting lash on her as well.
Do you have any tips on how you like to apply mascara?
I actually like to have my clients look at my shoulder and also look somewhere, like maybe pick a spot in the back of the room. But typically I have them look at my shoulder. Now you can apply mascara with their eyes open or closed. If I do it open, I tend to lift up on this brow because it releases that muscle. If they want them closed, that's fine too. You can just apply it that way. Some people like to bend the tip. This one has mascara on it, so I'm not going to do that. But some people like to bend the tip and go in that way. But if you give them somewhere to focus, then they're not going to be looking all over. I know some people don't care to have things like in front of their eyes.
Okay, on to some face products. So some cheek powders. We have a couple of different sculpting duos. So the one I have here is going to be the Matte Hugs and Kisses. And you've got,
Struck and tested.
yeah, so we've got 3 total. We've got the matte one. We also have the shimmers, your bronzers. One's gonna have a warm golden undertone, which is a little bit lighter, and then one has a cooler bronzy undertone, just slightly darker. And these can also be used for full face applications. If you're wanting a monochromatic look, you can use them as eyeshadow as well. These also have your mica as well as a dry form of jojoba. So again, it's not going to give you a powdery cast. It's going to blend right in with the foundation.
One little tip about these, you guys, is they are angled. So with my fan brush, I can literally just drag my brush across and it's going to load my product for me. I'm just going to have her turn and it's placing that highlight and bronzer exactly where I need it to be.
And then our blushes, again, they have 2 colors each. So they all have one darker and one lighter color. Some of them are going to be both shimmers. Some of them are one matte, one shimmer. It just depends on which palette it is. So you can use these individually with the deeper shade closer to the hairline, more as an ombre, and the lighter shade on top of the cheek. You can mix the 2 different colors together to create a custom color or just one at a time.
That's my favorite type to wear as eyeshadow.
But this one is Love
Yeah,
Soulmate, so
Love
it's going to
Soulmate.
give you a nice pinky tone.
So I always believe that it's easier to add than it is to take away. So when I typically apply blush, I actually like to start back in the hairline. If there's too much blush on this brush, it's hard to say, then I'm gonna have to work again and try to buff it out. So I'm actually gonna do a little bit of an ombre. So I'm taking the deeper shade and I'm starting at her hairline. I'm gonna go back over and do it the same on the other side. And then I'm gonna have her smile for me so I can pop that lighter shade right on the apple of the cheek.
And again, these products are from a private kit, so we're not following proper sanitation, but make sure you follow your state board on sanitation when you're using the products.
Here we are.
All right. And if you have a client who really loves the color of one of the shimmer ones, but they want a matte look, they can just apply that shade a little bit heavier and then press the Pure Press on top of it, and that will mattify it. All right, we are moving on to lips. Let me grab some of my lip products here. And then we're also going to talk a little bit more about Gobella, the website, and all of that stuff too when we're done with lip. So with our lip liners, they are very similar to the eye definers. However, these have dimethicone in them, and they also still have the little sharpener that pulls out the bottom. But the dimethicone in these will help to fill in those tiny little fine lines that we all have on our lip to give you a smoother application. They're also going to prevent feathering. You can use them just as the outline. You can fill in the whole lip for another color, since these are a little bit more neutral than some of our other colors.
Such a pretty good color.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
very
it's
nice.
really good.
So you can also
Flirty.
top this with a lip gloss too. So you can really mix and match colors utilizing the lip definers. We've also got the Perfecting Lip Definer. This one is clear, so you can use this with any of our colors. It would just outline the lip instead of being right on the edge. You just go right around the outer edge. You can also use this a little bit to fill in. If you have a little bit deeper lines around the lip, you can fill in with this product before putting your foundation on. All right, what do you got up next? You do Sealed with a Kiss. All right, so we've got a couple of different lipsticks here. We have our Sealed with a Kiss that she's going to be using in these beautiful little components. They have a true to life color on the top, so you never have to see through the lid. You know, if you've got a product on your display that has been loved for a while and it's maybe not, you know, a perfect representation of the slope that it comes with, this is going to show you the true color. So it always looks perfect and brand new on your display.
It keeps it from drying out as well. You don't have to remove the caps, so keep that in mind.
Definitely. So these guys are going to have argan oil in them. So you always have a freshly applied look. They're not going to dry out. They're not going to get tight or uncomfortable. It doesn't really fade throughout the day. You might have to touch up a little bit after lunch, but it stays very fresh looking for the whole day.
One little tip as far as picking out the right shade of lipstick, obviously, or lip gloss, lip product. We have our swatch book that has all of the shades inside this flip book. The other tip is to do the bottom lip and leave the top lip bare, and then have your client take a look at it and see if they like it.
Another use would be the try it at home tool on our website, because it gives you a tracking application. So you can turn on the video on your camera, you can move your face around and it will apply that lip color. So instead of putting on every color, then wiping it off and trying a new color, you can just use that try it at home tab and it'll show them what they look like with every single different color, especially for those who might not want to try a red, just to see what they look like, just for fun. Next up, we also have our lip velvets. These have been wildly popular over the last couple of years. They are also retractable, so you can just twirl up the bottom. These do not have a sharpener. Since it's for the lip area, you don't really need a super fine point on that. They apply as a very smooth velvety matte. That just did that one right there. It is very pigmented, and then after a while it will dry down to a long wear. It doesn't feel dry or tight either. This one is going to be a long wear matte, so it lasts throughout the whole day. That's why we call it stay all day. And you can mix colors together as long as you blend it before the color dries down.
If you were needing a more precise application, I definitely recommend an angled brush. This is going to be great, especially if you're doing a red. This is going to give you that nice crisp line. So keep that in mind when you are doing an application.
We recommend having lots of those
Angled brushes. I know, that's my favorite.
You can use them for brows, eyeliner, lip liner, or on the lip area. If you go a little bit too far, you can use that with some concealer to touch up and erase it. So you need a lot of those.
Definitely a good friend.
So a couple more lip products. We have our lip gloss. So this one is our hydrating gloss. It has some vitamin E, it has lanolin, we've got peony root, and this one is going to be a high shine gloss. And it has the silver color on there. So it's easy to tell the difference at a glance between the mattes and the glossy ones. So we've got the glossy ones with the silver color and the matte ones with the gold. With the matte ones, these are going to be a long wear, stay all day matte as well. So these we don't recommend using with any of the lip liners or lip glosses, because it'll just break down that long wear formula with the oils that are included in the lip liners and lip glosses. However, that is a trick to get this off at the end of the day, is just to apply a lip gloss to the top, let it sit for a couple minutes, and then it will wipe off a whole lot easier. On that note, we have our brand new Glow Lip Gloss. So this one is going to be a hydrating gloss. It's transparent with some shimmer to it, as well as a little mirror on the side, and it lights up.
Super cute.
So the little light is on the inside there, so you can apply this anywhere, day or night. If you're out at a show or wherever you're at, you will have a little mirror and light right with you. All right, and then with the keep leaning with the bulletproof, I saved this one for last. This is such a great multi-use item. You can use this obviously as its intended person, your setting spray. You can use this right after your primer. So if you have a client who's very oily, after you do their skincare and primer, just spritz on a little bit of bulletproof, let that dry down, then put their foundation on, and that will add an extra layer between their skin and their foundation in case they do start to have some oil. If you've got breakthrough oil during the middle of the day and you're starting to get a little shiny, do a spritz throughout the day. It'll dry down to a dewy matte look rather than a full-on shine. You can do your foiling for your brows, your eyeliner, your eyeshadow. So this is a must. Absolutely. Every client should have a bulletproof. Every application should use the bulletproof. So this is a really easy way to do some Mirabella minutes. Any 2 products plus bulletproof and you're golden. So with that all being done for our application and PK, we do have a couple of other notes for the website. We do have reviews available now as well. So make sure you pop on there and do some reviews, because the higher the reviews are on mirabellabeauty.com, after you sign up for an affiliate, all of your clients are going to see that. So they're going to see our website with all of our products and our reviews. And then you're going to get the commission back from that. So make sure that you leave reviews, that you share it with your clients and all of your friends and family. We've also got, let's see, the QR codes that I was talking about earlier. You can create those for free yourself. You don't have to have us doing that. And we are suggested to use qrcode-monkey.com. And that you just copy paste the URL into the bar, click the create code, and that's how I did this one for my affiliate link, and this one for my affiliate link specifically on the Try It at Home tab. So those are really, really easy to use. It immediately gets your clients to your website. And if they're, sitting around at home searching Amazon or whatever it is, why not search on yours?
One thing I also wanted to kind of mention is look at your websites. We have beautiful imagery available for you guys, and we want you to utilize it. Sam takes a lot of time in creating these things for you guys and for us. And definitely I get asked, like, are we allowed to share this? Are we allowed to use this? Absolutely. Those resources are there for you so that you can update your sites, especially with the affiliate program. You want to have new images on there. We have beautiful new images, you guys. So if you have any questions on how to access that information, just reach out to us and we'll help you.
And be sure you are signed up for go-bella.com. That is separate from mirabellabeauty.com. So Mirabella Beauty is going to be all of your purchasing, all of your affiliate stuff, and the Try It at Home tab. And then go-bella.com is going to be all of the marketing imagery, education. We've got videos, workbooks. We've got a sanitation course that'll give you a little certificate at the end. And then all of the marketing imagery and videos are on there. So you can just put them on your social media. You need to make sure that you've got some stuff listed on your social media regularly. So people that go to your website or your Facebook or Instagram know that you do cosmetics, see what your applications look like, especially for brides, and some of the products that you sell as well. So they're more concerned than ever with what the ingredients are. So if you have some of the products on there, then they can easily see what the quality of the brand that you use is.
And they're already coming in to see you as an expert. So like I said in the beginning, recommending their makeup to them goes hand in hand, you guys. And it's also another relationship builder in the fact that they can't go across the street and purchase their Posh lip gloss from someone else. They have to come back to you. And every time they wear it, they're going to be thinking of you and what other products you have to offer them.
And a great referral too. So if their friend loves their lip color, they're going to ask about it and they're going to say to their friend that they got it from you. So definitely something that you do have to pay attention to a little bit is making sure you're advertising, you're talking about it, you're utilizing it, you're wearing it yourself. At least something, if not everything, every day should be at least one thing Mirabella. All right, I think that is about it. Just let's see, share your affiliate link on social media. If you want to be on our salon locator, let us know if you're not already on there. And just make sure that you're utilizing our content for images and Mirabella Minutes and Mirabella Moments. The Mirabella Minutes is absolutely the #1 thing that our successful salons say is what builds their business, keeps people coming back, keeps their employees, just kind of an everyday thing. That way you're not forgetting about it. It's just part of your daily routine. And it's just 2 or 3 products. So it can be really, really quick.
And we are here to help you all. With any question, just let us know. We're here to partner with you and have you be successful and even more successful in 2023.
All right, I think that about does it. So thank you guys so much.
Guys.
Please tune in for other webinars for salon owners, display owners, and affiliates.
Take care.
Thanks. Oh, wait, there's one more.
For questions.
Okay. Sorry. There's a note. So the chat is open for questions. So just check and see what you want to ask us and throw it up on there. Although I don't think that we can see the chat.
Yes, we can. I think they've answered.
All right, anybody else have questions that hasn't been answered? We can see the chat now. Emails, yeah.
Email. I'm simply lynn@mirabella.com.
And I'm Seren, which is SERYNNE@mirabella.com.
And Lynn is LYNN. So we look forward to hearing from you guys. Let us
Thank
know.
you.
Thank you. Take care.
Appreciate your partnership.